Hi, welcome to the second part of the blouse cutting and stitching tutorial using a reference blouse. I had showed you how to make the template in the previous video. Now we'll continue with the cutting and stitching. You would have got a template similar to this. I'm using a miniature here because it's easier for me to showcase. You would have got a template like this. Take your fabric. This is the length of the fabric from one cut end to the other cut end. This is the width of the fabric. It will be finished. Check the width of the template and fold the fabric according to the width of the template. The folded end should be where the neck comes, the middle part of the neck should be on the folded end. We call this a double fold. We place the fabric on a double fold, place the template on it and trace out the outline and cut it. This is for the back portion. If you have a printed fabric, please make sure the designs are aligned in upward fashion. Like if you need to put it up like this, or like this based on the design template on your fabric. The back of the blouse will be cut from one end of the fabric. From the other end of the fabric, you will be doing your sleeves. Make a fold on the other end. On the folded portion, keep the middle point of your sleeve on the folded portion. Draw out the template. Draw the template. Trace from the template and cut it out. So now the middle portion will be left for your front body of the blouse. Place the template on it and cut it. It will be in a double fold, so you'll have one here and the other on the other side. And make sure your designs are upright when you're cutting for the front of the blouse also. Once you cut, you should be having one full back piece, two sleeves, two front portions, and I had shown you the belt of the fabric too, how to do the template. You'll have 4 belt pieces. You will have 4. Okay, and you will need 2 more bits for the hook and loop. Hook and loop. A 3-inch by 12-inch fabric and a 1.5 to 2-inch by 12-inch fabric. These are the primary requirements. Now we are good to go into sewing. We'll first start with the sleeve. Spread out your sleeve. Keep the right sides together where the print is. Keep them together. I'll fold and show it so that it is shown within the frame. On one side of the fabric, I have 2 pieces placed with right sides together. Mark the midpoint, then mark a point 1.5 inches from the tip of the sleeve, and mark a point 1 inch from the midpoint. I have put slits there. This is the midpoint. This is 1 inch from the midpoint and 1.5 inch from the end of the sleeve. Now mark the midpoint of these 2 slits, the 1 inch and 1.5 inch slit. Mark the midpoint. From the midpoint, take 3/4 of an inch. Mark a point. Then from the 1.5 tip, curve towards the 1/4 inch marking, then slightly bend and go towards the 1 inch marking. Hope you're able to see what I've done. This is only for the front portion of your sleeve, not for the back. So you will do it only on this one side of it. The other portion, the back portion, will remain untouched. Cut this out. Some call this a fish cut. The design tapers as it goes to the top. Near the top slit, it is almost very narrow nil. So you'll have something like this on the for the front sleeve, and there is nothing for the back. Next, what we will do, I prefer ironing the folds. So I've ironed it out and I'll show you what I've done. On the sleeve, iron it out at 1/2 inch, and you had taken a 1.5 inch reference line. We are working in that part of it. Fold for 1/2 inch, iron it out, fold for 1 inch after that and iron it out. The 1.5 inch goes inside like this. If you iron it out, it is easier to stitch. It takes lesser time. Some people prefer to hand hem this. Some people prefer thread lying out. Anyway, you will have to stitch it first. Only after the whole blouse is completed, we'll hem and remove the stitch that we are putting up now. I prefer a seam length of 2.8 to 3. You can choose your preferred seam length, seam width. Sorry. In the bobbin thread too, I usually prefer the same color, same type thread in the bobbin case too. That gives a better neat finish. I don't have to worry about which side I'm keeping up and down and sewing. So I folded the 1.5 inch inside and I've stitched it. The same I'll repeat with the other sleeve. Ironing out the folds makes it easier. You don't have to keep pressing, they don't move around, so you just can stitch it easily. The sleeves are ready, we'll keep them aside. Now we'll come to the back portion of the body of the blouse. In the back portion too, we had a 1.5 inch reference line drawn. Now we are going to again fold it into half and 1 and stitch it along the length, the whole length. I've ironed this also. We'll remove these extra ears that are hanging on the folds. So the bottom end of it is finished. Now find the midpoint of the shoulder and fold it into half. Continue to do so till the tip. Fold it into half at the shoulder. Continue that line till the tip. Make a crease. Now we will be doing a small dart here, which is 1/4 inch thick, wide, and around. Take your reference blouse. Usually they take a 4-inch long seam. Check with your reference blouse and mark it with it. Mark the length and the width with your reference blouse. We've taken the shoulder, folded it into half and continued it till the bottom, and we are making a dart here. We use the reference blouse to find the width and length of the dart. The dart will taper down as it goes up. It will be wider at the tip and it will taper down as it goes to the top. I prefer doing a double stitch of the dart. So reverse it, zip back. Repeat the same on the other shoulder. Find the halfway through the shoulder, midpoint. Fold it back. If you fold and see at the bottom, both the dart and the ends will lie equal if you do it all right, in the right methodology. Again, use the dart that you've sewn already and mark this dart. I'm doing these videos so that in the present times where the pandemic is keeping us grounded at home, not letting us do things that we do usually, we will put the time to proper use, and we may not get a tailor to make our garments. We can use the time to learn a skill and keep our mental health in a good state. So, my dart is ready. We'll keep this back portion aside. Its work is done. Now we'll go to the front top portion. We have a lot of darts to do in here. We'll have 3 darts that have to be done. First, the bottom portion that we had marked out from our stencil. This is the bottom portion. Hold the tip of it, fold the fabric with the right sides facing each other. Make sure the seam and the tips match. There is no up and down. Hold it nicely. Take your reference blouse and find the same bottom seam on it and measure how much of a dart they've taken in it. The dart would be folded inside, so you'll have to open it up a little and find the width of the dart and add 1/2 inch to it, because half of it has gone in, you can't see it. So measure the dart size and add 1/2 inch to it and note it down. And you've you've now noted down the width of the dart. Also note down the height of the dart. From the tip, open tip, find the height of the dart. Note it down. Now you're going to use that here. Mark the width here and mark the height here. The width would have been what you see outside plus 0.5 inch. Height, you can see it easily because the dart will be folded. The raw edge will still be there. You can open it up and see the height of it. Mark them on your blouse. This dart is very important because this determines your cup size. A well-fitted blouse should have a good cup size for you. This only changes the shape of the blouse. In the front, I've marked the dart. Now I'll be sewing a curve around this portion. Hope I can show it to you clearly in the picture. I'll be sewing a curve. It is wider at the tip and tapers down to the top. Okay. To finish the neck piping, you will have to know hemming stitch, and to finish the usual hook and loop, you will have to know that stitched hook. Please Google around for those stitches and learn them. I prefer doing a double stitch at dart, so I've come back to double stitch. The dart is curved. It is not a straight line from here to here, it is curved. Now, come to the portion below your neck where the hooks fit in. Fold it into half and go half an inch down from there. I folded it into half and I'm going half an inch down from there. And I will hold it in such a way that it coincides with the dart that I've already made. It'll be a little tilted, that's fine. Hold it in such a way that it coincides with the dart that has already been done. We will be making a 1/4 inch dart here. The width is 1/4 inch. The height is going to be whatever is the height on your reference blouse. Usually it is around 2.5 inches. Some of it would have gone inside the stitch, so add the seam allowance of 1/4 inch to it. Yeah, this is approximately 2.5 inch long and the width is 1/4 inch. So mark it down on your fabric. Again, the wider dart will go taper down to a narrow dart. If you notice, all the darts will be focusing towards one point, and that's how you do it to create a cup shape. So your dart is done. This is the first dart, this is the second dart on. Now we move towards the armhole side. Here again you will fold it into half and move 3/4 of an inch away from it. you fold it into half, find the midpoint, and move 3/4 away towards the side. Hold that point, hold the first dart point, adjust your fabric and place it down. Now find the dart width from your reference blouse, width and height from your reference blouse. Note it down and make the dart. Now for the height, it is safer to do it 1.5 inch away from your 1.5 inch away from your first dart, till 1.5 inch away from your first dart, from here till 1.5 inch away from your first dart. If you check in your reference blouse, it will be somewhere near that 1.5 inch mark. So mark it out 1.5 inch away from your first dart, and the width of the dart as noted from your reference blouse. Now again you'll make a dart that starts wider and goes narrower, tapering down. It will not be wider for a very large part of it. It will taper down easily in the beginning itself. Okay. The wider you make it, the difficult it is going to be to wear it. It has to taper down quickly. So you have 3 darts in it. Hope you are able to see one on your armhole, one on the button hook side, and one at the bottom. They give you a cup shape for the blouse. Repeat the same on the other side. Use the first piece as your reference for the second side because they should be mirror images of each other. So first dart I fold it in the bottom portion, measure it from my first piece that I had done, and mark it here, the width and the length. We'll do a curved dart, it will not be a straight dart. Then to the next dart, near the button area, fold it into half, or use your reference side, the other side that you've sewn already. Find the point where the dart is placed in it, mark it. Place it along, matching the first dart point. Mark the width and height with the reference that you've already used in the first side. Go to the armhole area. Again, use your first piece as reference. Figure out where you had made the dart. Hold it there. Once this blouse has come out well, you can mark these dart points on your template too. And for every blouse using the template, you can mark the dart points instead of finding the dart point on every blouse. So the 3 darts on this are also ready. Now you'll attach the belt area to the top part of the blouse. Take 2 of it. You will have 4 pieces totally. Take 2 of it. With the right sides facing each other, place one down, place your blouse piece on it and place the other one. The curved portion that we had cut in it, the curved area, will be on the tip of the blouse. You'll have a sitting like this. Okay? Now, you will have to stitch according to the curve of the blouse and not go on a straight stitch. Okay? You'll have to stitch all these 3 lines with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. That's the seam allowance that we had given during cutting, and there will be this dart in between. Fold it and roll it into a small roll so that the tip of it is not caught in the stitch, and align all the 3 pieces. This is a little bit of work because they might not align, but you will have to align them. Make sure all the 3 pieces are aligned and sew with the 1/2 inch seam allowance. You will have to adjust now and then for all the 3 layers to align. So this is what you would have done. When you pull them out, you will have something like this. Okay. Now do the same to the other piece too. Keep them with the right sides together. Place the blouse in between, and you'll have a sandwich of 3 layers. Roll the dart inside into a cone so that its tip is not caught in the stitching, the sewing. Align them and start sewing. Make sure your dart roll doesn't open up. If you want, you can do a second seam on the stitch on this, or else you can avoid that. That's up to you. Anyway, we'll be doing a top stitch. So you have this ready. Now, attaching all the parts together, I'll do in the next video. Please continue